Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and you are welcome to the Shabbat on this morning. The parasha that we're going to discuss about this morning is called Parshas Naso, and I subtitled it Invested Power of Blessing. Invested Power of Blessing. We know that in the beginning, no man can bless any man. From the beginning, only God bless. We see in the book of Bereshit that God blessed who? God blessed Adam and blessed all his creation, right? God said, Adam, multiply. Adam, fill the planet. May all the animals, everything increase and blossom, right? That is the blessing of God. And then after that, what happened? God blessed who? Noah. Right? That God began to just repeat the same blessing that God blessed Adam. God repeated it also on who? Onto Noah. And God, after the destruction after the water destruction of the whole world, and God said, okay, you shall prosper, we prosper, you multiply, increase, and subdue the sea of the ocean, the animal of the air, everything, and so on and so forth. And then after that, God said, you know what? I'm going to bestow the power of blessing upon man, so that man can bless man, not just only me. Then God did what? God bestowed the power of blessing upon who? Upon Abraham. And God said, whosoever bless you, I will bless. Whosoever curse you, I curse. Whosoever you bless, I bless. You see, God bestowed the power, God invested the power of blessing upon Abraham. That when Abraham blessed anyone, automatically, God bless that person. It doesn't matter whatever that person is doing. As far as Abraham pronounced that blessing out of his mouth, God bless that person. So God invested the power of blessing upon Abraham. But in the Torah, we didn't read that Abraham invested this blessing or this power, upon Yitzhak. No, we didn't see that. Why? It's a thing of mystery, because a woman be thinking, or the idea is that, okay, maybe Abraham is thinking about his son Ishmael. But I giving Isaac everything, but if I give the power of blessing upon Isaac, then the balance is completely too much. So maybe that we don't know. We don't. I'm just bringing up an idea here, right? So, but we didn't read in the Torah that Abraham invested that same power upon Isaac. But it was God himself again that invested that power again upon Isaac. God said, whosoever you bless, I bless. But Abraham did not invest that power upon Isaac, but it was God that invested that power upon Isaac. Then Isaac gave that power to who? To Jacob. And then Jacob did what? Gave the power to what? All his children, the 12 sons. So we can see from this stage, and then when the children of Israel left Egypt, so God announced, okay, this is how you will bless the people. This is how you will pronounce. This is the set formula that you are going to be saying every Shabbat, or every time that they come into the temple, or every time after the sacrifices that is being done in the Mishkan, or later on in the temple. Then after that, when everything is concluded, this is what the Kohanim or the Kohen Gadol has to do what? Has to pronounce upon the people that when you place my name upon them, I will bless them. And God spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to Aaron and to his sons, saying, thus with me in this manner, in this way, not in another way, not in another manner. Do not add and do not subtract from it. This is how you shall bless the children of Israel. It must be said to them, in this way only, not in another way. This is only the way you shall say it. God bless you and keep you. God make his face shine light towards you and be gracious to you. God turn his face to you and set for you peace. And they shall set my name upon all Israel, and I will bless them. That is Numbers chapter 6, verse 24 to 27. God conferred upon Aaron and his son the duty to bless the whole nation of Israel according to this set formula. In doing so, God established for us the nature, the purpose, and the result of bestowing blessing. He said to you, remember the way the blessing is said. Let me repeat it again, according as the way it is written in the Torah. Numbers chapter 6, verse 24. Say, may Adonai bless you and safeguard you. May Adonai illuminate his countenance for you and be gracious to you. May Adonai lift his countenance to you and establish peace for you. You see, that statement. His statement is always about what? About you. That statement is what? Is personal. It didn't say them. It didn't say us. It said you. It's personal. Individual. God is blessing them individually. It's individualistic now. God is blessing everybody individually because we understand and we know that our needs are different. We're all human beings, right? We're all the same. We all come to the synagogue every Shabbat, no? But my needs might be different from yours. What I request from God might be different from what you are requesting from God. But this formula is a general formula for all. That whatsoever you request, whatsoever you want, God will give it to you as the way you want it. As the way you request from God in your mind, in your soul. Right? The way I requested from God, that is the way God will bless me. It's God talking about you, individually. There's no way there that you find them like a collectively, right? He didn't say us as a people. He said you individually as a person. So we can see here what God is saying, that whatsoever is your need. When the people cry, oh, we didn't have meat. We need meat. Okay, I give you meat. Oh, there is no water. We need water. Okay, I give you water. Whatsoever is your need, I give you manna. I give you manna from above. Let them eat. Let them be satisfied. So he said the priestly responsibility to bless using the Birkat Kohanim was an act of obligation on the priest, not an act of authority. No, it is not that I have the authority to bless. No, it's an act of obligation. You are obliged by God for you to bless the people. You have to bless them. That is not act of authority, it is my authority. No. It is God that's giving you that authority and that power and that obligation to do that as a leader of the people. The blessing was bestowed not by the action of the priest, but only as a response to a request from the people to be blessed. The blessing could be given only in three-part formula so that the purpose, the force, the meaning of the blessing will remain unchanged. So that you don't say, oh, after 200 years it's changed. Or after 10 years it changed. Or somebody removed some part and add another part. No. It doesn't work that way. Exactly as God told Moshe, exactly the way Moshe told Aaron, that exactly the same way Aaron had to pronounce it upon the people. So, he said that the force of the koh-or, which means in this manner only, there is no any other way, there is no any other formula, or there is no any other interpretation that you can interpret it. This is only the way that you shall pronounce it. In the introduction to the blessing, in verse 23, it establishes a limitation on the priest so that the blessing comes from God directly, not from any human. In verse 23, we can see there, let's go back again and see chapter 6, verse 23. It said, speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, so shall you bless the children of Israel, saying to them. He said, this is the way. That is the limitation. You cannot add anything. You cannot subtract anything. You cannot divide anything. This is exactly the same way that you shall. That is a limitation. That this is how you have to say it. This is how you have to tell them. Okay. The fixed pattern of the priestly blessing also ensure that the effect of the blessing did not depend on the unique talent or personal limitation of any individual priest. This follows the principle that when serving at the altar or before the ark, the priest must be absent of his unique personality or the ego, so that his own personal issue do not become an impediment to the fulfillment of the spiritual purpose of the ceremony or the blessing. Because this is what I'm trying to let us understand here, that the fixed pattern, the way God fixed this blessing or this formula, does not depend upon me. It does not depend upon any individual priest. It is fixed by God. So that you don't say, oh, you know, it's because I have this talent, or it is my talent. You see, people begin to do what? To have ego. Me. They forget about the God that is our spinal cord. God that is behind us. God that is standing firm, defending us. They think everything is me. Oh, when I bless them, they're blessed. It is all about me and me and me. But God is no, it's not about your talent. It's not about your understanding. No. It's because it is me that command you to bless them, and that is why I bless them. So everything return back unto God. All the glory, all the honor return back unto who? Unto God. The obligation to bless was set upon all the priests, so that the power to bless was not invested in any individual. It is only on the descendant of Aaron and what? Aaron and his descendant. It is the purpose. It is the people who motivate the blessing because of their needs, which will always be met by an ever-present caring God. Though called the priestly blessing, it is truly the people's blessing. Yes, the blessing is called the priestly blessing, that because it is the priest that pronounce it, but actually it is the people's blessing. It is God that said, pronounce this way upon the people, and I bless them. Yes, we subtitle it the priestly blessing because it comes out from the mouth of the priest, but actually it is the people's blessing. The threefold blessing has a clearly stated goal. This blessing, we can see it in different perspectives. We can see it from three different perspectives, because that blessing is not just, it's one holistic blessing, but we can see it in different perspectives, which I said earlier, from the perspective of the nefesh, from the perspective of neshama, and from the perspective of the ruach. So we are going to see it in these three way perspective. The threefold blessing was a clearly stated goal to set the name of God upon the people, so they will become blessed by bearing it. So once we set the name of God upon the people, once you put the name of God upon them, because they are wearing this name, they shall be blessed. And we can remember that in the land of Israel. God told them, he said, go unto the Egyptians and request anything. Whatever you request shall be given unto you. They will never say no. They won't ask you, why are you asking? Or they will ask you, I don't have it. Or they will not like you and say, okay, I don't want to give it to you. No. Whatever comes out of your mouth, the Egyptians has to listen and have to do exactly what you said. So, and the Torah said, and Israel came out of Egypt with a high hand. I mean, the Israelites, they looted Egypt. They took everything out of the land of Egypt. Which means that all the labors, for all the 100 years that the labor that the Egyptians refused to pay, on that day, on one day, they paid everything. You see, for hundreds of years of labor that they refused to pay, on one day, everything was paid off. So this is what God is saying. He said, I will bless, once the name of God is upon you, because Moshe said the name of God upon the people. And when they go out, they find favor in the sight of everybody. So what is God saying here? God is saying that once my name is upon you, you will always find favor in the sight of men. So because you have already found favor in my sight, I mean, we've already found favor in the sight of God, so automatically we will find favor in the sight of men, or in the sight of people. When I said men, I mean men and women. And they, I mean the priest, will set my name upon all Israel, means that in doing so, I shall bless them. In verse 27. This is automatic. It is unconditional. It is unconditional. Once you set my name upon them, but remember, you have to have the name of God for you to be blessed. The name of God has to be set upon you for you to be blessed. If you don't wear the name of God, then that's your own problem. You have to wear that name for you to be blessed. This unconditional blessing is the unique gift of a compassionate and involved divine presence who will bless upon request those who bear his name. When we have the name of God and we make a request, it is automatically answered. I'll tell us like a little word. There was a time that I was saying, you know what, I want to change my career, and I want to go and study, more and more and more, and I was contemplating it in my mind. I said, this. I said, you know what? I decide. I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I put it in prayer before God. My people, it's not even the next day. What I requested yesterday night, the next day, everything happened exactly the way I said it. Sometimes, myself, I beware of what comes out of my mouth. I don't know if you guys have if you have such an experience. The way I said it on that prayer, exactly the way it happened one by one. I said, whoa. My wife told me, this is what, just like a joke. In the morning, she was okay. Honey, this is what we do. I said, okay, let me just pick up the phone. I pick up the phone. I called. He said, call this place. I called the place. I said, just like a joke, I called the place. And exactly what I said, the lady that was listening on the other phone begins to do it one by one. I came out, I told her, I said, it's like this lady didn't see me. It's like what is going on? I said, whoa. You see, you prayed yesterday night, and my mind, see what you said yesterday night, and when I finished everything, I said, you know what? God, I want a job now. Then I will say, I send my resume everywhere, right? I say, God, I need a job now, Then people are calling me, right? And they say, you don't speak French. We need French, because you don't feel because say Francais, you need to speak French. Say, no, God, this French is getting too much for me. God, I need a job where it doesn't matter, I speak French. Then I sent my resume. A lady called me. Can you imagine? The lady said, okay, you know what? I don't care about French. Do you know the job? You can understand? The interview says, you are excellent. Come and work. You see, this is what God, and this is what I'm trying to tell us individually, that once you put the name of God in you, once you invoke the name of God upon you, even though the lady didn't see you, your voice is a wave, it's energy. What the word is hearing, she or he will have compassion, and they begin to do exactly what you command. It's like if you are commanding them to do what you want them to do. So this is what I'm trying to tell us, that putting the name of God upon us, wearing the name of God, bearing the name of God, we are automatically blessed. This principle is similar to the Kabbalistic concept of awakening from below. And what is the Kabbalistic concept of awakening from the below? This is it. Let me just give you a little example. They said, a man can never see light. Except what? Except it goes down to the dungeon, into the darkness, the dead darkness. It is from that. You see, some people say, using Joseph as an example. Joseph wouldn't have been the greatest man of his time, if not because he went to the dungeon. You can experience that you have, make you a different human being. They say Hitler became who he was because he was in prison, in the dungeon. The bitterness, multiplied in his life. But instead of him to see it in a different perspective, remember I said we have different perspective. Joseph saw his own dungeon in a positive light. Because he knows I did nothing wrong. Right? I'm innocent. Yes, because I'm innocent, I will bear the consequence. I'm innocent. I didn't do anything wrong. I will be faithful to my God unto the end. right? Where people, for a man to see light, a man has to go to the lowest part of the earth. Sometimes you say, why am I in this point of my life? Why is it everything so completely zero for me? That's the reason. But you have to take it not in a negative form. You have to take it in a positive form. Because from that dungeon, you will see, from that darkness, you will see the light. You will know the difference between the light and the darkness. Many people, they think that going down to the darkness is a negative thing. No. It's a kind of Abraham went to his own dungeon. Everyone that believes always have their own, the bottom where you reach. Then you look up. In the Psalm 123 said, it said that I look up unto the mountains, from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. So, how do you look up? Because you cannot be up and look up. So you look up when you are on the bottom, in the base. You begin to look up and you can see the faint light. You can see the light. Ah, yes. Then, now you understand. You say, okay, as I go up, as I move up, as I go up, this is what I'm going to do. Joseph by himself has decided what he's going to do from that base. I will be what? Be faithful to my God unto the end. Even though in prison, they make him the head of prison. Even though in prison, he still begins to act positively. He wasn't angry with God. Because many people, they become angry with their God. Right? They become angry. Say, God, why did you do this to me? You put me in jail because I'm innocent. No, I will no longer serve you. I'm done with you. Fini. Why are you making an innocent man to be what? To suffer. But it's a test for you to see. And Joseph grew up and became a great man. So the same thing here that the Lord our God is teaching us. This concept, this Kabbalistic concept of awakening from below. When we get to the least, to the bottom, that's when our mind, boom, open. Because you are on top, or you think you are on top of the world, right? You don't even think. But when you are in below, you understand. Oh, it is what I did not see when I was when I was on top. But down, when I'm below, I can see everything very, very clearly. And this principle teaches that what we receive from God is activated by us through our effort to awaken the perception and the acceptance of the divine presence in ourselves. This is what the concept said. That, I repeat again, the concept of this awakening from below teaches us that we receive God. We receive from God. We receive, if all of us can visualize the Sephirot. We have the Keter on top, which is the crown. From the Keter, from the highest level, you can see the energy flowing down. So we, as an individual, have to do what we receive from God, because we activate through our effort, through our mind. Like what I just said. What did I do when I need a job? I activate my mind. And I say, God, this is what I need, and this I need. I want this. And I didn't just sit down and fold my hand. I acted on it. And I follow, and I say, I send my resume, I send it out. And people begin to call. We need to understand this thing. This perception of accepting of the divine presence in our life. Because I invoke the name of God upon myself. Our living then is a receiver and container of the God's being. Our living, our physical living, our spiritual living is a receiver now, a container. Right? A container of what? Of the being, of God's being, of the power, of the presence of God. The purpose of living is to contain the presence of the divine. That is it. So it can be revealed and brought into the world through our moral action and faith in Him. I repeat again, the purpose of living. What's the purpose of a man living? The purpose of our life, the purpose of living here on earth is to do what? Is to contain in that vessel. Individual, each and every one of us are individual vessels to contain the presence of the divine, the presence of God. so it can be revealed through us. Can you see God? No. But everybody can see God through us. The way I act, my actions. I say I'm a child of God, but I curse a lot. I'm a child of God, I do bad things. What kind of a child of God is that? But when I say I'm a child of God, I begin to do what is good, what is right. I do justice. I didn't say, okay, you know what? Amigo is my friend. He did what is wrong, and I keep my mouth shut. The Torah says, woe is the man that know what is good and did not do it. And sometimes I wonder, most of our judges, most of these judges in the High Court, in the Supreme Court, they know what is right. But because the Prime Minister is my friend, one of the guy, we play tennis together, and they make judgment and they pervert judgment. They will face the consequence when the time comes. Because God said, woe is the man that know what is good and refuse to do it. They know what is good, but they just refuse to do it. So by this, we bring out God, we bring out godliness in us. And the moral action is that I know what is right. The moral action there, like what is going on in our planet now, nobody needs anything moral. Everything that we see now is immoral, right? Everybody begins to do that. Was it yesterday? I just opened my email in Yahoo and I saw a man that is pregnant. A man. He said, I'm transgender. A man. So, this is it. The world is cuckoo. I'm sorry to say that, which is the truth. So, the faith that we have in God, that faith will lead us because we know who we serve. The simple and elegant beauty of the threefold blessing. This blessing is threefold. It bellies the complex and the mystic dynamics of the blessing, the content and the purpose. The content of the blessing moves in a developmental process from one stage of life to the next, unifying all levels of existence into a single unified field of being, experiencing the pervasive presence of the divine in all. The operation of the dynamic is revealed in the structure, flows, and content of the text itself. As I said, remember, it's the body, the spirit, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Right? So this is how this blessing is structured. That, okay, may God do what? Let's go back again quickly before we finish. He said, in verse 6, he said, 24, may Adonai bless and safeguard you. That is physical. You see, may God bless you. But if you have all the blessing, but there is no protection, you are wasting your time. Yeah, all the blessing, I have the blessing. Yeah, I'm blessed, everything is wonderful. No protection, in a second, that blessing will disappear. Because there's nothing to protect it. You need protection to protect that blessing, so that that blessing will remain with you. So that the enemy don't come and take it away. Or something negative doesn't come and remove it. So that is physical, right? So he said again, okay. May Adonai illuminate his countenance for you and be gracious to you. That means in our neshama, that is knowledge, understanding in your mind. May the Lord God shine his countenance, his face, understanding, wisdom, knowledge. That is your neshama. And finally, we go to the ruach for the soul. He said, may Adonai lift the countenance to you and establish peace for you. When you have all these things, if you don't have peace, you're wasting your time too. No? You have all the blessing. You have all the things. If that blessing is protected, yes. You have all of them, but you have no peace to enjoy it. Why do you have it? It doesn't make sense. No? So we need to see that God understands what he's telling us one by one. Oh, God, bless me, bless me, bless me, bless me. God says, okay, I bless you. No? God bless you. You build a big house, nice mansion, wonderful. Say, God, I need to write. God, I want you to be able to write Ferrari. God says, okay, I'll give you Ferrari. God give you Ferrari. No? Okay. And then Now you have to go, God, I need a wife, Okay, God, give me a wife. Okay, go. But at the end, they say, you say, you feel some headache. Then they say, okay, you go to the judge. Say, oh, madam. Oh, no. I don't think you are going to live for a maximum year you can live is 5 days. But you have all those things again. Now you've got trouble. Right? There is anxiety. So why do I have all these things if I cannot enjoy it? Because there is no peace, no shalom. It's a problem. One problem or the other begins to rise. So why all these millions that I have and I can't even use it to benefit myself? So it doesn't make sense. So that's why God is saying, you need peace. At the end of all things, we need what? We need shalom. Shalom is the key. Is the key word. You prosper. You do your farming. You go and till the ground. At the end, you harvest. You do all the harvest. You bring all the harvest into your house, right? And then they call you and said something. Okay, as soon as you bring all the harvest into your house, something happened in the night. The fire gushed the house and consumed all the harvest. So what is it? So this is what God is telling us individually. Yes, when I put my name on you, you have shalom, you have peace. Peace is the key here for everything that we undertake in our life. The most familiar of the interpretation of the text from a variety of rabbinic sources inform us that the three parts of the blessing each refer to one of the three basic elements of the person and its related needs. The first line refers to the physical need of the human for protection for all materials need, and which include the possession of the body. The second line refers to the mind that comprises the intellectual and the emotional faculty of man, and the need for what? For enlightenment. The third line is a blessing for the healing and the strengthening of the ruach, which means the spirit, right? The spirit, which is the divine presence in each of us, is reflected in the salim, in the image by which we are all created. The final goal of the blessing is for humanity to find shalom, as I said, synergy, holisticness. When God turned his face then upon us, then it is to reflect the unification of our soul within and within God. So this is what the blessing is all about. It's all holistic. Everything, God took care of everything in those short sentences. Right? It's very simple. It's not complicated. It's not hard. Men, we make everything hard. Nothing is hard. We just have to do it exactly as God has commanded. Don't add to it. Don't subtract from it. Just do it exactly as God said, and everything will be fine. There is no problem, no issue, and you will see the face of God. And God will shine his face upon you, and you will be blessed, and you will have shalom in ourselves, in our soul, in our spirit, and in our body, and in our surrounding, and in our country. Because if there is no shalom in our country, I always said, we won't be here. Because we need shalom. Because we have shalom, we have a lot of people that have war in their country. They can't come to the Shabbat. Everybody run to the jungle or run under the rock to go and protect yourself and your family. No, that's what it is. So therefore, this is what I'm talking about. That God has promised us that because we have his name upon us, because we wear his name, then we shall be blessed. Parshas Naso, the invested power to bless. God has invested the power to bless upon the priest, and it is the priest's obligation. It is obligated to bless the people at all times. Shabbat Shalom.